And one of our guys that was working the doors said, man, this group just came to the side door and they got all these little young guys. And I'm like, well, who is that? And we kept, so I thought, well, maybe they were breakdancing or whatever. So we get back and I got my lieutenants and everybody looking and they get out and they look at you with a very brazen look. They got out all like little men and the girls were going crazy. Some of the guys were very, good looking little guys, had neat haircuts. They had the Adidas identical suits. And so I really was just, and we had about 15 of them and they had them in the room and they were making them empty their pockets. And right then you knew you had something different because they were one spokesperson. And he said, why are we emptying our pockets? What have we done? Are we under arrest? Asking questions as seasoned. And they had these bicycle chains. Yo, man, that shit is real. They would be checking you. And then one had that map of America. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And I got to see the map maybe 9 months later. And it had a few diamonds, and 9 months later, it had more diamonds. And someone was explaining that was where they made distribution or where they did business. And I couldn't believe it. And then the cops, they got rough with the kids, which would normally scare the cahoots out of regular gang. You giving us our shit back or we're calling our attorney. And within a blink of an eye, they became like experts on what you could and could not do. And there was a eerie feeling in that room at that point.
No credit, no VCRs, no change, no TVs, you know who we are. Look up at us. Yeah, nigga, we them stars.
There was a Midtown hotel up on Woodward in Mac. That's where I used to keep my big stash. And they watching me, so I'm nervous than a motherfucker. We was selling 100 bundles or better every day. A car pull up, them peeped my stash, ran, but that China white pink pack was so good he came back the next day talking about give me 2. I fired on that motherfucker with a short motherfucking right, dropped him. Bougie stomping him with them motherfucking cousin glass heels, you know what I'm saying? Here come Raymond, Wayne, Bushrod. Bitch, we the motherfucking boys. Dexter, YBI.
We were over on Dexter at Esquire's, the corned beef place, which was legendary. And suddenly this Corvette drove up. 2 young girls got out, and this was in the summer, like in August, and had mink jackets on. Little Venuses, they were just gorgeous. And then a Mercedes drove up right behind us and a BMW. And that was the first time we got to see the whole crew. And the kid who went in to get our sandwiches came back and had screwed up all our orders. All he wanted to say was, YBI was in there with their girls. And that's when you knew at that moment that this was something like we had never seen before.
And the thrill of being on top, stepping in somewhere and everybody know your name.
They were legendary at that very moment.
Before rap hit, we was entertainers in the hood.
But them boys would start pulling up in them big ass cars and wearing all that jewelry.
From there on out, that neighborhood, which usually responded to the Temptations and the celebrity life, YBI was the shit.
Intrigued by this new type of youth gang, Taylor kept seeing them at events in Detroit and all around the country, including the Tommy Hearns Sugar Ray Leonard Championship fight of 1981, for which Taylor ran security for the Tommy Hearns camp.
From Detroit, Michigan, he is the WBA welterweight champion of the world, undefeated in his professional career, introducing Thomas, the Motor City Cobra, Hearns.
I was Hearns' bodyguard, ran his security when he fought Leonard the first time. And YBI came out, and members of the whole entourage, and came to the fight. They went to the fight as if they were going to Cobo Arena. Who else could fly out to Vegas and stay in Caesar's Palace with us? Not only did the fellas didn't talk, you didn't want to be asking them stuff. I mean, you could end up dead asking the wrong things. As a matter of fact, if I followed the social science method of gathering information, I wouldn't have anything. I speak the language and respect the rules in the underworld and the underground.
Growing up in the infamous Jeffries Projects near downtown Detroit, RD was exposed to the drug game at an early age.
We in the Jeffries Projects, you know what used to be the Jeffries Projects. This is where I'm from.
This is where it began for me. Before they got us up out of here, every day for us was the hustle. You know what I mean? Get paid $50 a day, stand right here on 4th at the fire hydrant and yell hook down. You know what I mean? Because the big guys was out there selling the packs.
The Jeffries soon became a YBI stronghold, with young dealers leaping on the hoods of passing cars in a frenzy to sell their wares. And in one 3-day stretch of winter 1980, 18 people were shot near the corner of Selden and Gibson.
Yeah, they was selling heroin. You know, and they can't watch out for the hook and try to serve the customers. So they'd be like, little brother, here, take this $50, stand over there, and when you see the hook, just yell.
R.D.'s parents might have thought they made it out when his father got a job working for the Big Three and the family moved out of the Jeffries and onto the near west side.
They got a job at the plant, and they moved over on Stokely and Davidson. Well, it looked it better because the neighborhood, man, it was laid out. It looked like we moved to the motherfucking suburbs coming out the jets, you know what I'm saying? But when you got over there and I got to socializing with them guys over there, them guys was like Martians.
I've always been a Martian on this motherfucker. I'm on Earth, but I'm not one of you motherfuckers.
You know what I mean? Nobody want to talk to them guys. I had to run down to the projects every day because I couldn't deal with them cats.
I don't give a fuck about you and that bitch and the jury, your punk-ass car, none of that. Nigga, I'm from Dexter. I'm YB motherfucking I.
They kept approaching me with the money. I'm down here making $50, yelling police, as opposed to them guys over there. They gonna give us $100 a day. Well, by us being young, we don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? $100 a day is great when you're a little guy. Just think what you can do with $100. $100, man, you can go get some gym shoes, an outfit. You wanted what they had, man, and they were smooth about it. Give you a few dollars. Huh, man, come around there and see me tomorrow or something. Everybody be making them out to be monsters and all that shit, man. Them guys wasn't like that, man. Them guys they were smooth, man.
B took his first arrest while working for Raymond Peoples near Dexter Avenue.
I'm in a joint on Calvert and Dexter. I'm getting $100 a week in all the tops I can get. Damn, here they come. I run back. I flush the packs I got. And you selling dope? You selling dope for Raymond Peoples? They beat my ass a couple hours. 1,300 broken. Typewriters broke. Desks broke. Chairs broke from where they been whooping motherfuckers' ass. Catch your cab back on Martindale. Lo and behold, when I hit the corner, the whole crew on the corner, about 60 strong. What happened, B? This Baby Ray, this Raymond Peoples. Shit, I ain't say nothing. My motherfucking man. You know what I mean? That's Baby Ray.
Beyond the money and the violence, the rise of YBI marked a new era in Detroit, an era in which drug dealers and drug dealing became pillars of the economy in the community.
People in the community knew what was going on, man. It wasn't like now. See, now motherfuckers disrespectful, shooting and doing all that stupid shit. Back then, wherever we hustled at, we kept the block clean, we kept their grass cut, we cleaned the fields. It wasn't no chaos, wasn't nobody getting robbed, and nobody messed with the neighbors.
As the gang broke into separate crews, B left Raymond Peoples and went with Dwayne W.W. Davis and was soon making more money than he could spend as Davis's right-hand man.
Wayne come over and we talk, took me shopping, all kind of shit. I want you to get on with me. I said, shit, we on.
And Wayne was that guy. He was wearing dark suits, carrying the Italian handbag. So he would tease with me. He says, yo, man, what'd it take for you to be my guy? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Laughing. Yeah, right. I have clients, which I did. I was Yul Brynner's bodyguard and others.
Wayne just had gave everything to me. Wayne trying to step out of the game. Wayne had changed his mannerism of dress, speech, wearing this goddamn Jerry curl shit. I ain't understanding, but he's getting into a whole new crowd of people. You know what I'm saying? These square motherfuckers with that clean dollar. Wayne got a house, man, with a swimming pool in the back. We got Benzes in the driveway, whatever. Everything what you would think. But all our neighbors is Jews, Chaldeans or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They like, damn, they stay in they motherfucking window.
But I have to tell you, he was driving a Mercedes. I was driving a Mercedes. Mine came with hard-earned money. And I think, honestly, I probably was a little jealous.
The name most often associated in the public mind with YBI, Milton Butch Jones, wasn't released from prison until Ray Peoples and Dwayne Davis already had the operation in full swing.
I had never even met Bush. I always just heard about it. Bush this, Bush that. But I detect a little animosity. I detect a little fear in motherfuckers that knowed him and a lot of motherfuckers who didn't want him coming off into our thing, you know what I'm saying? But let me go back to the time when Butch dropping me and Mark off with 300 bundles going to Highland Park. Young B and Mark, I know y'all with Wayne, man, but I want to spit something at y'all. I'm gonna take this motherfucking city over. I need y'all to get down with me.
Butch soon wanted to take over things for himself, and his crew of enforcers, known as the Wrecking Crew or the A-Team, were the most feared gunmen in early 80s Detroit.
Been a lot of occasions, man, different occasions where guys tried to come, you know, tell us we couldn't roll here, we couldn't roll there, you know what I mean? But that wasn't no shit we worried about. We handled the problem right then. We handled it ourselves. Wrecking Crew, all them guys would come later if we couldn't handle it. For the most part, you gotta be able to handle it yourself or you ain't gonna be able to get out. You couldn't hold it, ain't no sense of you being out there.
The young boys first hit the newspaper in 1979 when the Detroit police found out about a free heroin giveaway they were conducting on the west side.
We had a great dope giveaway. We passing out cars all through the neighborhood, everywhere. Dwayne and Dexter, the great dope giveaway. 70,000 a day, one spot. Hamilton and Highland, we got the whole building. Boom! We got some dope taking a 90. Like New Jack City, the Carter. We was doing the Carter back in 79, you know what I'm saying? We run the dope. If you don't live in this bitch, we ain't letting you in.
YBI truly marked the decline and demise of authority, period. They are not scared of the police. A landmark to me as a researcher that this was a pivotal turn in attitudes about young black men in the world.
Mayor Young was in office. I remember he had made a speech and he was like, yeah, black man, get your money. But he was meaning it toward black store owners and black businesses.
I think at that time they had seen a complete erosion of the law enforcement in the city. And there's no doubt that law enforcement in Detroit at that time from the local level they were inept.
Young boys on a corner, a motion of poetry that was deadly.
And they had no control over us.
And this whole concept of using two things that people didn't use before, which was young kids that were juveniles and taxi cabs.
Man, we got away with a lot of shit because we was young. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really have no laws for the young kid. They catch us, man, with 50 bundles, man, about 16,000. Little young motherfucker, where you get that from? Bam, who you roll for? I don't know what you talking about. What they gonna do? Nothing. You know, if you have a murder case, you wasn't going to jail.